Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we have a lot to talk about with Tropical Storm Elsa. So right now, as you guys can see, currently we're looking at the surge map right now. So you guys can see that we're in our main spots that we're going to be looking at right now. Our main concern spots is going to be around Tampa Bay, all the way up here to 3 to 5 feet of surge, which is not too bad, but still that's something that's concerning because it's something you have to watch out, but surge can take people's lives away. And we're talking about this is probably gonna all last into Alaka River right in here, and we get to that 2 to 4 feet. Now we go to our Key West down here. As you guys can see, we're going to be seeing 1 to 2 feet of surge, and then 1 to 3 feet for Bata Beach. So that's going to be um the main problem, not main problem, but it's gonna be one of the problems with the storm. So I would recommend if you guys stay with your local weather for you guys' safety and make sure your phones are charged, turned up, your radio, just in case you guys lose any power. Because we are going to be looking at the winds to see what we're going to be seeing with the winds. And some of the European and GFS have switched since the last run. With we're talking about a tremendous hurricane probably. So we're going to be taking a look at the coming real fast. This coming updates an hour actually, so by the time this video is probably posted, it's probably gonna be changing, but I'm gonna show it anyway. So we zoom in real fast and look. Oh, we can't zoom in. Okay, so you guys can see that we currently have tropical storm warnings for parts of the Cuba. This storm is currently making its way off to Cuba right now, and it's going to be going to the Gulf of Mexico. And right here, if we look, this is where we're going to expect the Gulf of Mexico during this time for it to strengthen. Now, I would not be surprised if we do to see this into a hurricane. My probability, in my opinion, don't go off of this. My probability to see a hurricane is around 50 to 60% now because of what the Europeans been saying. I think honestly by 2 a.m. Wednesday, I think we're going to be seeing this come into a hurricane or a very weak tropical or strong tropical storm with a weak category 1 between those two. Um, but the bad thing is that the storm is going to be making landfall around probably early in the morning, which is night, which that's why I say make sure you have your phones on charge for Wednesday going in tomorrow night, because we're gonna start seeing some of that effects. Even same thing with the Key West for the European guys. You guys gotta be careful because we're talking about that could be infecting tomorrow night. Um, Even tomorrow morning we can see Key West, even rain bands going into Florida. Now, once we start to get off, let's talk a little bit about once it passes Florida and gets into that Georgia. I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see tropical storm warnings coming into play on the South Carolina, North Carolina area for the coast of it, just to be safe right there. I imagine they probably do that with the next run. With the Europeans saying what it's saying, I think this is going to end up changing right here to probably a tropical storm right there, S, and then I think this is going to change to H. That's my 50% chance of seeing that right there. So that's your guys' Kona update. Um, so we look at our satellite imagery if it chooses to work today. As you guys can see, this storm is not looking the best right now, but it's not looking the worst because it's not weak. It's kind of weakening a little bit, but it's not strengthening too much. So you guys can see in here that we don't see rotation too much. So the storm is currently right here, making its way off to Cuba and into the Gulf of Mexico. Within the next probably 5 even 4 hours, we could be seeing this thing making it into the Gulf of Mexico. Let's look at our rain total right now. So as you guys can see, that a lot of the rain is going to be staying in south of the Tampa Bay area. As you guys can see, we're talking about a good 6 inches for parts of this area right here in south of Tampa Bay. And we're talking about Tampa Bay, maybe up to 4 inches of rain right here. And we keep going on to the coastline right here of Tampa Bay. Key West, we're even talking about a good 4 inches. So then we go to Tallahassee, we're talking about a good probably 2 inches. And then we go into, like I said, a lot of this rain is going to be in the next probably 48 hours. And as you guys see, our storm is going to be taking this track right here with the storm. So, if we look currently right now that we're going to be looking at something else, and then we're going to be moving on. So I just want to cover everything just for you guys' safety. You guys can see now with our intensity, the pressure has went up one, so it is currently weakening right now. But that's all going to be changing around tomorrow morning. We could probably see this thing going to 105 in the morning, maybe 1005 in tomorrow morning. And it is moving at, it's pretty much moving at northeast right now. So something we do have to keep an eye on. If we look at our ensembles right here. As you guys see, a lot of malls are currently agreeing that we're going to be seeing this thing. I think the track is official right now, but the bunch is still right here. We're just gonna see what it's gonna be doing right in here. See where it's gonna go. Is it gonna go on top of Chesapeake Bay, or is it gonna go in the Pamlico Sound, the Outer Banks down there? Is it gonna go to Charleston, Jacksonville down here? That's something we're watching right now because we can currently see once up to here around. If it does reach hurricane down here in the Gulf of Mexico, we could potentially see this thing going up to 60 miles an hour of gust of winds and probably sustained winds up to 40 to 30 miles an hour to parts of the Virginia and Outer Banks area, even North Carolina, if this does become a good steady hurricane. Now, if it does lose its intensity and moves and weakens a lot and weakens very a lot, then we could see this probably being more of a rainmaker for the Carolinas and Virginia area, even South Carolina. But I think what we're gonna have to be worrying in the next probably 48 hours, even next 24 hours for Key West, is our rain that we have to be watching because that's something that's gonna be coming into play. Our flooding, hot, strong winds. So we go take a look at the winds right now, currently right now. So I do want to take a look before we take a look at the winds. I do want to take a look at the GFS. All right, so you guys can see we switch regions real fast and go right here. You guys can see that the storm is currently right in this area right now. As you guys see, it's sitting at 1002, and this is going to be around July 6th, so around 12 p.m. tonight. Making its way off to Cuba, we're talking about good rain bands coming up into the Key West area. Even parts of Florida, we're going to start seeing some of that rain taper in tomorrow around probably the 6 a.m. in the morning of July 6th. So, as we keep timing this out for you guys, this is the GFS. You can see that the Key West is probably going to get some of the strong side of the storm, which we can see flooding, flash flood. That's why I say keep an eye on this. We can talk about Cuba again, this strong hit of starting it. And then, as we type it out, the GFS has it strengthening to a good, probably category, not category 1 yet, but it's going to be there if it kept on going down. That's going to be a really good tropical storm right there. As you guys see, this is our weak side. So that would put Tampa Bay, even everyone that's on the coast on this side right here, would be on the right side of the storm. The right side of the storm. And that would bring a lot of wind, a lot of rain, and a lot of flooding. And then it says right here, loses some intensity. But the thing is that's curious about the European. And then we're talking about it could be making landfall around July 7th, around probably 12Z, which is around, if we look at that, that's probably around 12 p.m. During the day. And then eventually maybe making its way on top into the Virginias and Carolinas, taking a track like this, and then maybe re-intensifying in the Atlantic just a little bit, but nothing to really to worry about that. So we go to our European and we look. Let's go back here, and the European is actually pretty. It's saying something else than rather than the GFS. So you guys can see our storm is probably, if we look, our storm is currently right here as of right now, standing as we're talking right now. So GFS, if we go play 1001, so it's saying by tomorrow morning, around the 12Z, around 12, we can see this thing start intensifying. And then talk about 991 as a landfall, which is something that's curious because 991, that's only 11 MB down from where it could become a hurricane. So you guys see that if we look, as it keeps on going on to the Georgia area, like I said, I would put probably in the next probably 2 to 3 cones updates. I can see this right here being all under a tropical storm warning. So this is something we do have to keep eye on because I can see that we could possibly be seeing that some of this could be a tropical storm warning up to the Carolinas, and then eventually watching as it goes on there, and we'll have to see what it plays out. Now the European has it strengthening in the Atlantic, which I'm not going to go too much into that because that's still a good the ninth, so that's still not too much away. That's only 4 days away, but it didn't really. After that, we're talking about it's quiet. So if we go to our weather that US and we look, we're gonna see the winds. So as you guys can see, excuse me. So if we look, we're gonna see the GFS. Let's see. I do want to look at the GFS winds because the GFS, or I want to see the European too because the European is kind of saying something about the winds for even the Carolina area. So we look. I never really used this, so I'm gonna try to work with this. Really, I've never really used this. I rarely use it, so I'm gonna look, and so we look at it here. All right, I think I got it right here. Let's see. See. All right, so here we go. This is our right here. So this is our wind right here. As you guys can see, as we time this out for you guys, I believe this is our wind. And like I said, I rarely use this, just to be honest. It's rarely I use this because I'm never really. Okay, here we go. I found it right here. So, if we look right here. Alright, so you guys can see, we timed this out for you guys. Look in this area. You guys can see that Tampa Bay is probably getting hammered by, let's see, let's get our charts. Right off of Tampa Bay, we're talking about a good gust to 78 with the European saying right here. And then the center is talking about a good probably calm in there. And then we're talking about maybe a good 60 to 72, maybe even 84. So if we play this out for you guys, it does show that the winds are going to be carried onto going into Jacksonville. You guys could probably see some gust of winds up to 40 to 50 miles an hour. And then we go into parts of right up north of Tampa Bay. We're talking about good to 54 to 60 miles an hour. Now, if we keep playing this, the wind keeps on moving up shore. Weak right there around 50 to 48 for the parts of Carolinas, South Carolinas. And if we look, keep playing, and the European has it right on top of the Chesapeake Bay. And as you guys can see, right on top of the Chesapeake Bay, we're going to be seeing right south of the Chesapeake, and then Outer Banks, we're talking about we could see a good gust to 84 all the way up to 66 all the way up to 84. Now that's something we do have to keep an eye on because this can probably be stronger than when it was down here, which is crazy to think because it could be going on top of Pamlico Sound, which honestly my parents own land on the Pamlico Sound. That's the only reason why I know it very well down there. Very nice. It's pretty water, and honestly, hurricanes are so bad down there to the point where some of our land's washing away slowly because of these hurricanes. And I don't know what's up with these hurricanes loving. If we zoom in, if I can zoom in, I'll show you that we have the Outer Banks down there. You got Alright, so we can see right here, as you guys can see, we're going to change this to a different color since we're going to change it to, let's change it to green today. So you guys can see, we got the islands right here, pretty much of Crawla, Kildova Hills, and then you got your Pamlico Sound right in here, and the Pamlico Sound's right in here, and then you got the Pamlico River, and pretty much that's pretty, and we're talking about a good 70 miles an hour of gusts, winds for parts of that. Now we play this out for you guys. Virginia Beach, you guys can see a good gust up to probably a good 60 miles an hour. I also know this pretty well too, the Virginia Beach area. And then we go down to here to Myrtle Beach. Let's actually play it out for you guys. Myrtle Beach, you guys can see gust to 84. Now this is a track that's future. We're still looking out for that, but if we actually zoom back out, which we're gonna zoom into the Florida area, we're gonna cover that out for you guys real fast. If you guys are just wondering, so we play it back. I am gonna play it back because I know some people get mad when you don't cover the area. So we're just gonna cover the Tampa Bay area and the Panhandle area, Miami area. So if we play it back, let's see. Like I said, a lot of that winds are going to probably be missing parts of the Key West. A lot of that's going to be staying off the coast. But still, the Key West, you guys could be seeing a good gust to 60 all the way, 48 all the way up to 66 miles an hour, or 60. Like I said, a lot of that strong wind's going to... And then as we process this into you guys, Tampa, you guys are going to be seeing gusts up probably 72 miles an hour. And then playing it out, Spring Hill, you guys are probably going to be seeing gusts up to probably good, I would say around 60 miles an hour. Now, a lot of that wind is going to be affecting, and then you guys talk about right here in the parts of the Tampa, you guys are going to be seeing gusts up to probably 70 to 70 all the way up to 80 miles an hour. Now we're talking about a gust up to 98 right off the shore of Spring Hill and Tampa, and then playing it a gust up to 102. I think the Europeans over exaggerating on this. There's no way. If you see a miles an hour 102, that's probably a good, I want to say probably a good category 2 right there, or category 1, or on the edge of category 2. Now, as you guys see, Jacksonville, like I said, something you just have to keep on. I think the European is over aggressive, overdoing it a little bit, to be honest. This is your recent model right here. So, this makes more sense right here. As you guys can see, this is our newer model that recently came out earlier. You guys see this is probably reasonable right here. Makes more sense. Key West, you're talking about 57. This is your typical June storm, and we're not going to be expecting a Category 4 making landfall. So you guys can see that Jenna, you guys are going to probably be seeing gusts up to 64 off your guys' coast. And then as it keeps on playing for you guys, going into the Georgia area, it's going to probably be dying from there. And really, once it hits that water, it's really going to be weakening. So I guess it's something we're going to have to keep an eye on. Don't want to make this video too long. I know it's probably at like 15, 17 minutes already. But that's going to be the wrap of the video today, guys. If you guys enjoyed it, hopefully you did. Make sure to hit that subscribe button below. And don't forget to hit the post notification bell if you choose to subscribe. Make sure you like, comment, share with your guys' family. And until next time, we're going to be posting videos daily. And hopefully that we're going to get our new Facebook page launched probably in the next week or two, hopefully. Until next